I got this article from the National Association of Home Builders this morning talking about AI adoption rates in our industry. It's pretty low, as you could guess, but it got me kind of wondering, why are we so much lower than other industries? How much lower are we than other industries? Is this a good thing? Is this going to plateau and always be a pretty marginal adoption ratio in our industry? And I started looking into the data, but ultimately I was realizing that there's kind of a fundamental shift that's been happening. So I wanted to share some of my mindset around AI adoption. And I also put together a bunch of research of other industries based on, industry reports and benchmarks into a blog post here. So I wanted to just walk through the methodology of that that you can check out if you want to. I'll include the link wherever this video is. So is this adoption rate always going to be low? And is AI plateauing and just another hype train that's finally going to end? I've been thinking about this a lot lately, especially with the release of ChatGPT 5 being so underwhelming, according to many people. I still think that there's kind of an inescapable bottom line that AI has disrupted the paradigm of logic that software is built on. If you think about how software has been built up to now, it's really conditional and structured. There has to be rules for everything that you do, hard-coded into the software. But AI is kind of a fundamentally different tool. So even if we are completely plateaued and no more progress happens, I feel like it's going to take years for us to adapt. You're going to see the software that you use right now changing for years based on just what we have available. It's a really core foundational disruption. And when something this different comes along, it's really difficult to know how it's going to be used. So that was one thing that I thought was interesting is the exact categories that they put in here. So there's to generate advertising / marketing materials is, so 20% of people are already, say they're already using it. So then they asked everybody to rate, would you be likely to use this in the next 2 years? And all the people that aren't using it now said 3.6 out of 5 on average, which is pretty low in the next 2 years. I'd say pretty much everybody's going to end up using it somehow. Like it's just going to be integrated into all your tools. And then to help analyze markets and plan projects. I love that that's in there, analyze markets. It's so good because, this was generated from deep research and I've cited all the sources thoroughly throughout the entire article, and all the sources are listed down here, all the research reports. So there's tons of stuff in here. Very useful for market research, especially if you can't hire an expensive consultant to plan your business with. Design projects, that's interesting. I was excited about this bottom one, to operate automated construction equipment. I think that's so cool. There's also going to be digital twins, so you can be seeing this construction equipment as a digital twin, completely rendered and controlling it remotely. So obtain permits, that's a huge opportunity. Forge, I think is the company that's a really cool company. I saw them at IBS this year. Basically they're just documenting all of the local permit rules and things like that. And that's such a good use case for AI right now. And I guess I went into this, down this tunnel to say, these are kind of the low-hanging fruit. And the more people I talk to, the more I learn about how much of an unknown AI is. It's such an omni tool that can be used for so many different things. We aren't going to really see, sure, we'll see disruption in these categories, but there's going to be so many unknown use cases. And honestly, that adoption curve over the next few years, or however many years, depending on your techno-optimism, is going to create a lot of opportunity to build a lot of wealth. So a little bit more about this blog post. I wrote this part and I kind of worked with a few different tools to pull the rest together. And it's generated by AI, but it's programs that are built for consistency and to cite the sources, keep the information correct. So it's pretty reliable, but you can also dive into the exact sources if you wanted to. So I feel like it's interesting to see how we stack up to other industries. If you want to take a look at this, there's a lot of other information in here. And again, all the sources are cited, but I did not write this by hand. What I would do is get these sources from like Perplexity and then put it into an AI place that you can reference it for like planning your business, just asking about how things are going in the industry, where you sit. Otherwise, thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'd love to hear your thoughts.